Welcome to MyProjectBazaar.com. Our project title is Efficient Algorithms for Mining the Concise and Lossless Representation of High Utility Item Sets. Let's see the abstract for our project. Our project is based on data mining process. So we already know that mining high utility item sets from databases is an important data mining task, which refers to the discovery of item sets with high utilities, that is, high profits. So for example, if we want to find a high profitable items in a shopping site or shopping mall, so we need to mine that particular data, and we can find the high profitable items from the list. So how can we achieve this? To achieve this high efficiency, we are going through the mining task and provide a concise mining result to the users. So here we are following three efficient algorithms named a priori CH, that is a priori based algorithm for mining high utility closed item sets. First of all, we are finding the high utility closed item sets, and thereafter the second one is a priori HCD, that is highest closed, discarding unpromised and isolated items. That is, if some items are not valid, or if some item is unpromising, means we are rejecting that item. By using this algorithm, we can classify that items from the list. So after that, the final one is CHUD, that is closed high utility item set discovery. So here we are discovering the item sets with the high utilities, that is high profits. So by using this, we can mine and get a good exact results of a particular big data. So by using this process, we can mine a group of data in a particular shopping site or something data set. By using this process, we can mine a data set which contains a group of datas, and we can find the highest profit from the item sets. Let's see the flow diagram for our project. Here we are starting our process. We are getting the data set which we have already downloaded from internet or somewhere, and importing the data set into database. So once the data set is inserted successfully, means we are going to the next process. Else, if the list failed, means we are generating an exact data set which will be imported successfully. So now after that, we are selecting the transaction database. That is, so if we are having a shopping data set that contains the items which can be purchased in a shopping database, so after the data sets into database, we are selecting the transaction database from the data set. So if the transaction database is valid one, means we are finding the efficiency. So what is the transaction database? The transaction database is the database that contains a shopping list which contains a group of items that was purchased by the customers. So once the database is valid, we are finding the efficiency. So we are finding the efficiency by three ways. One is CHUD, and the next one is HCD, and another one is DAHU. So after processing these algorithms, we can get some results. So we are finding some results for CHUD, and finding some results for HCD, and finding some results for DAHU. And the final performance will be analyzed by plotting it in a graph. So hence in the graph we can get the exact results, that is the highest profit items in our data set. So that's our process will be ended. So this is our first page. Here we are selecting our database. So here we are having the database efficient algorithm. When I select the efficient algorithm database, the database selected will be shown, and it is asked us to pick your data transaction table, that is our transaction table which contains the customers items. So this was the transaction table, customer transaction. Once when I select the customer transaction option, it will show the total items in the table. So the total items in the table is 458. So now let's start my process by choosing the transaction table. So here it is showing information which was selected. The selected database is efficient algorithm and selected table and the number of fields in the table. So there is 2 fields in the table and the number of items in the table is 439 items and the transaction items in the table is 74. Transaction is has occurred in the table. So here we are moving to the next process. Our next process is finding the a priori CHUD algorithm. It is a priori CHUD algorithm. We already seen that we are following the 3 option algorithm. So this is the first one, which is to find the highest closed items. That is the closest highest utility items count. So here if you see this, here is a list of items in the cart. So this is the list of items in our cart. So we are having more than 500 and so on. So this is list of items. So once I choose this list of items and click this arrow, means it will show the transaction in the cart. So the transaction, this is the customer ID. CUS 102 means this is the customer ID. That is the how many customer has to buy those products. That is how many transaction was occurred. So here it is distorting the transaction in the cart. So now we have get the list of items in the cart and the transaction in the cart. Now we are going to process the CHUD, that is the initial algorithm, the first algorithm of our project. So this algorithm algorithm specify that it is getting the input from the database and the output will be the closed highest item utility highest utility items count. So we are normally we are going to the a priori gen and the estimated utility of item sets method. That is we are pausing some queries using these algorithms and finding the closest item highest utility items count. So here I'm proceeding by clicking this arrow. So now it is showing the selected database and the selected table which was selected at our first page, and the total items in the cart is 454 and the CHUD ID, that is this data will be stored in database in a table by using this ID. So our CHUD ID is 3B96 and the successful transaction items, this is very important. So that is the total number of items in the cart is 454 and the successful transacted item is 439. So among the 439 successful transacted items, the closest highest utility items count is 166. So now we have found the a priori CHUD algorithm, that is closest highest utility items count. Now we are going to the next process, that is the next algorithm. After this HCD, that is highest, as usually it is getting the database and the database item sets and removing the unpromising items. Here removing the unpromising items means sometimes some items may be failed during the transaction times and some items may not be purchased by the customers, so they are considered as an unpromising items. So we are rejecting those items from the list and finding the promising items, that is promising items is successful transaction items. So among the promising items we are finding we have to find the highest promising items. So now I'm going to proceed by clicking this arrow. So now we are generating a DGU ID for us to store this data in a separate table. So now this is the promising item list, that is only 5 items has been transacted successfully. So among the CHUD we have found the DGU HCD, that is the discarded the unpromising items. So here if we see this means these are the unpromising items. So when we discard the unpromising item we get the promising items. So among the promising items the highest promising item is item 157 is the highest promising items. So the final process, finding DAHU, that is deriving the all high utility items from the sets of all CHUD. That is the final result, that we have to find the maximum number of purchased item in the transaction. So that is our goal and that is our target. So and we are processing this algorithm. So as usual, this algorithm we are getting the length of the item sets, set of item sets, and finding the total transaction. First we are finding the total transaction in the item sets and the number of distinct items, that is how many items are presented in the particular cart. And after that we are finding the successful transaction, that by deleting, that is by normally by rejecting the unpromising items by successful transaction. So we are finding that. So now we can proceed to the result. We have get the number of distinct items in the list and the successful transaction and the average transaction, and the average is maximum potential is 166 times the product has been bought by the customers, and the maximum number of postage items in the transaction is 5 items. So when we go to the next process, so we are finding the final performance graph, that is the transaction rate and the highest item purchase.